Unsolicited advice.
What you whispering for? Yo, what's unsolicited advice? Take it or leave it. So you want to know why a person has ghosted you. You know, why they're not either speaking to you no more or they're moving different. You know, or maybe why all of a sudden they don't have interest anymore, or just moving, just moving a little funny lately. In my world, the slang word for that is post-nut clarity. It's called post-nut clarity. And it means that it's just a sudden shift in your mood because your experience it's something, it's right after you experience an orgasm, or ejaculation. It's just a moment of clarity. It's like you're thinking straight, especially after casual sex. It's different if you've been together and there's love involved. But most of it comes from, mental clarity. It's like, all right, because you got to think about it. You've been thinking this whole time, and I need some. I need some, man. This girl looking good. You lusted. So, a lot of it is just mental clarity. Your thinking becomes sharper and more focused because, once you done got one off, it's like, damn, I'm hungry. I want a sandwich. Let me get back on the game. Or, let me see what's on TV. Or, and for, most people, women in general, because women think a little different. Now, there are some women, once they get their nut off, they do the same thing. But for most, they really, really like you. In their mind, it's like, why is he acting different? We ain't necessarily acting different. We're just, kind of thinking different. It's a relaxed state of mind. So when, it's almost like feeling like you've been conquered, and now somebody doesn't want you anymore. So, there's that disinterest or detachment. A loss of attraction or emotional investment. So a lot of people, that's when their mind goes into a different place, because if you're used to getting attention, or you're used to feeling like you have some type of power over somebody, and now all of a sudden they're acting different because they got what they wanted. That regret and guilt comes in, because especially if the sexual act was impulsive or involved something morally or personally conflicting, meaning if you did some things you don't normally do, and now the person's acting different, he ain't gonna like that. He ain't gonna like that too much. But it comes with rational thinking. So things that seem like a good idea before, after you have that post-nut clarity, it feels unimportant or foolish. It's like, man, I shouldn't have did that. I've been through that a lot of times where, I was caught up in the moment, and after a while I was like, man, I should have waited. I should have gave this more time. I don't know if I should have did this. And it's nothing against the person that you're with, but sometimes it's just, it might be the stress of the work. You've been working so much, you're doing this, you're doing that. You got so much stress on you. Sometimes you just want to have a good time, and, you want to find somebody and be intimate with them without strings attached. And you can get caught up in it because you might be lusting over somebody. They might be looking good, smelling good, feeling good. Just got everything you need in that moment. It's tied to like biological changes, in your brain. So it's like drops of dopamine. And I think it was prolactin. I think that's what it's called, prolactin. Which is a hormone that's like linked to sexual satisfaction, excuse me. And they it's linked to sexual satisfaction, which can lead to like a different emotional contrast. So like, it's snapping back to reality pretty much after being under a fog of lust or desire. It's nothing it's nothing too. And I ain't gonna say it's a bad thing. You just have to have an understanding if you're gonna go into something with the intentions of sex involved. That's all it is to it. You know, don't make it more than what it is, or you're gonna get your feelings hurt. You want somebody to snap back out of it, after sex. Um, Most guys usually do this. You know, you don't want somebody that's too clingy. You want to enjoy the moment, relax. You know, it's almost like getting a massage or watching your favorite show. You kind of just want to relax. You want something, you know, a little snack, something to eat. You know, you just want to chill after that. You don't want all these questions. You don't want somebody wanting to constantly cuddle up under you right after. You know, you just did your business. So a lot of times, you know, you just want a moment. You just want a moment to think. Now, you do want to be careful about um, regretting. That's the bad part. The bad part is regretting, because that's when you do need to control your urges. Even if you want it bad, you got to control your urges. Say, well, you know what? It's probably not a good thing right now. Let me wait. Let me take my time. But yeah, we all know what post nut clarity is. You know, post nut clarity is just it's a thing. You just have to know what you're doing, who you're doing it with, and what the outcome's going to be. Play the scenario out before you do it, so you know what the outcome is going to be. And for y'all that act like you don't know, you know, okay? But that's just my advice, unsolicited. But you can take it or leave it.